Welcome back to another episode of Reds Franchise. 0-0 can only mean one thing. It is opening day 2024, and it means a lot. One, it's going to be our first season of really seeing Elly De La Cruz, who is, of course, lighting up real-life AAA for the Louisville Bats this season. And, some have asked why I'm not as hyped on Christian Encarnacion Strand. He's just not the same level of prospect, even if he's also really hitting in the minor leagues, and he's just not that good in the game. Like, his hitting numbers are decent. His fielding is honestly way too good for what's probably a first, third, or DH. Like, let's just be real about that. Because, 70, 70, 70 is essentially what that is across the board. And, a guy like Elly De La Cruz, who I think has like a 55 out of 80 field grade, doesn't even have that. And he honestly should have a better arm, but some things just never develop for the prospects, which is disappointing. So I guess if it comes to it, we could do some things manually. And his hitting numbers aren't like amazing, but Elly's just like a special freak of an athlete. The highest exit velos in minor league baseball and throwing velocities in Major League Baseball. And he plays in the minors, of course, but hopefully in June is when we're going to see Elly De La Cruz for the first time. However, in our Reds franchise, sorry about the quick tangent, it is Elly time right now. Opening day against the St. Louis Cardinals. I'm not going to... So I was doing like a Twitch partner thing, and I got credit to get these sunglasses. I'm like, these look ridiculous. I'll take two. So we have these now, but I think they're fitting. I think Elly De La Cruz does wear like a similar type. You see a lot of baseball players wear them. Fernando Tatis kind of comes to mind, but let's go ahead and set our lineup here that we're going to see throughout most of this season. Let me introduce you guys to the team if you are new here. So Hunter Green is our ace. Hunter Green should be awesome. Nick Lodolo has had his ups and downs, but I liked what I've seen from Graham Ashcraft and Yanni Chirinos, and we also picked up Charlie Morton, who is currently going to start as our fifth starter. He's 40 years old. I don't know how good he's going to be. It was okay in 2023. If he can do that for us, we're going to be fairly competitive. And then David Robertson cannot be our long reliever. I'm really looking for somebody with at least 30 stamina. We'll throw Tony Santillan in that role. Alexis Diaz has been downgraded to setup. I want Bruzdar to be my closer. And then we also have Caleb Ferguson. We could put TJ Antone in long relief as well. His hits per nine are really good. So I think that kind of fits. A few middle relief guys. And then we talked about Alexis Diaz and Gratterall. Our lineups, though, we can get a little bit crazy with them. So I don't want Elly De La Cruz as a DH. It doesn't really make sense to do that for such a young player with great movement abilities. He profiles as either a third baseman or what he's currently playing, which is shortstop. But I'm not sure if he's really going to be the everyday shortstop for the Reds. Maybe he ends up being that. It could be Matt McClain, who's currently at AAA for us. Could end up coming up this year. I would, in fact, expect it. I think Elly is going to play shortstop for me. Spencer Steer is going to play third. Yandi's going to DH. Our first baseman can be Jock Peterson, or we could honestly go back and forth with that. Maybe Yandy plays first base some days. Maybe Jock plays first base some days. He might be a better DH just because of his abysmal fielding, and reaction's not too good either. But we're a pretty balanced lineup in terms of lefties and righties, and adding in the switch-hitting Elly De La Cruz certainly helps us out with that as well. We do still have Joey Votto on the team, gave him another contract. It's just for 2024. It's $1.8 million. It really isn't too bad. So Joey Votto's still sticking around. He's going to be basically like another coach. He's the player manager. So he's not really going to see the field a whole lot, to be honest. Maybe if somebody needs an off day, big power against righties still. Will Benson's a bench guy, backup catcher. But Jesse Winker's the guy that's actually going to see a decent amount of the field, or DHing on some days. So I like Jesse Winker. He had a really good 2023. His numbers aren't amazing or attributes, but I could still see him playing quite a bit. But this is going to be, the main group of guys. Max Kepler in there. And I just have to decide, where do I want Elly De La Cruz? Do we start with leading him off? I feel like that's pretty aggressive. But we could throw Ellie in a leadoff role. Maybe if he doesn't do so well, we can move him down. But I like Yandy at 2. Tyler Stevenson's really done so well in that 3 spot. But I think we keep him there. And then we'll go maybe Jock Peterson cleanup, Hunter Renfroe, and then Jake Fraley. Like, the 4, 5, 6 in our order is tough. I mean, even Tyler Stevenson was great. And then I think Jonathan India is a better 7 for me than he was a leadoff. But I could see him going back into that role if Ellie De La Cruz doesn't work out. Maybe they just flip. And then I think, yeah, Kepler and then Spencer Steer. And I think that's a pretty good lineup. And then I think against lefties, not a whole lot changes. Jock gets moved down in the order just a little bit. Jonathan India gets pushed up. Spencer Steer 7. Jesse Winker is inserted into the lineup. Jake Fraley will mostly be off against lefties, although I think he did hit pretty well against them last year. He does only have 36 contact against them, 48 power. So I think it's best to leave him on the bench. And then I thought about Ryan McKenna. I still feel like he's just going to be a backup outfielder. I don't really want to start him. But that puts us ready for opening day. Reds, Cardinals. Braxton Garrett on the mound for the Cardinals. Miami Marlin in real life. And has made his way to St. Louis. He's a 75 overall. And I guess technically the ace of this Cardinals team that's going to lead off Tommy Edman. Dylan Carlson DHing, batting second. Nolan Arenado at third. Paul Goldschmidt at first. Nolan Gorman, who's been great in real life, going to be just after that and playing second base for them. And this is a decent team. Hunter Renfroe is a new addition. Thinking he's going to be pretty good. Jordan Walker is somebody to watch for the Cardinals, one of their top prospects in real life. Bit of a shaky start in real life, then got demoted to AAA where he currently is. Has been not so great there either, but historically has raked in the minors, so I think it's only a matter of time before he finds it. But you never know. He could just be bad, which, I mean, I'd like to think is unlikely, but it could happen. And you can see our preseason projections are pretty interesting. Jesse Winker, they're expecting to have an OPS over 800. Expect Jock to hit 30 home runs, near 100 RBIs. And they even think Alexi Vina is going to steal 16 bases. He's not even up with the team yet. He's 18 years old. He was our top pick in this past draft. He's super, super highly rated. So there is a chance that if he hits well in the minors, he gets a quick ascent to the majors. There is a chance of that happening. I'm not going to say it's super likely, but there is a chance of seeing Alexi Vina in 2024. Braxton Garrett a year ago had an ERA just over 4 in 166 innings, so pitched quite a decent bit. Whip was near 1.5, though. He's not afraid to walk a batter. So we got to be patient, and we're going to start with Ellie De La Cruz. Did technically debut last year, but we're not really going to count that. And he will come up to the plate, starting for the first time, leadoff against Braxton Garrett, and he'll swing at the first pitch. His attributes in the game, he's a little bit better suited to hit right-handers. In real life, I think he does significantly better against left-handers. And this will be decent contact against the lefty. Hit to center pretty well, 95 off the bat. But that is an out. And we'll check out the starting lineup. You can see the batting averages there from a year ago. Yandy Diaz, Tyler Stevenson. These are actually projected averages. They're really projecting everything. But we expect Yandy Diaz to hit really well. We traded for him last year. He's having a really nice year in real life in 2023 when he's been healthy. He's just, unfortunately, regressing for us because of his potential grade. So I'm not really sure if he's, a big-time player for us in the future. But as for right now, I think he's a really, really nice option, at the top of our order. Get on base. Let guys behind you drive you in. And we've got some guys that I feel like can do that this year. Tyler Stevenson, Hunter Renfroe, Jock Peterson, of course, unfortunately, it's a lefty today. Jonathan India could be really nice. You got to stay patient. Find pitches to hit, and of course, drive them when given the opportunity. So Yandy Diaz, a 3-1 hitters count here. Not necessarily looking to do damage. Get a pitch right down the middle, though, and we swing. Yandy Diaz going to ground out to the shortstop. Got a meatball, just didn't really do a whole lot with it. And our MVP from a season ago, I think our lone all-star is Tyler Stevenson, and it's going to be a quick inning for Braxton Garrett as Stevenson flies out to center. Center fielder getting some work here early. Couple of flyouts reeled in by him. Not our best inning. Garrett really was, I don't even want to say wild, but wild in the zone. Throwing right down the middle on a handful of occasions. And we just didn't do anything with those opportunities, unfortunately. And I am switching to pure analog for this season, by the way. Classic is just too terrible. Pure analog, I think, is a nice mix of, you know, I'm not going to locate overwhelmingly well, but it's going to be a lot more accurate than, you know, set up here and then the ball ends up in a completely random spot. I'm getting pitching advice from people that, I mean, listen, if you guys see me play online, I'm quite good at the game. We try to, you know, I don't want to say neuter ourselves, but we try to be a little bit more attribute-focused in the franchise. I'm not trying to prove how good I am at this game. A lot of you know I've gone flawless several times in BR, and so many times over the years. Made World Series every time I've ever tried. Not to flex or anything, but I know how to pitch. It's just, I could not for the life of me locate with classic pitching. So I would do anything to just try and throw a strike, and that would oftentimes end with pitches right down the middle. Like that one, as Arenado fouls it off 90 plus off the bat super early. We got him exactly where we want him. 0-2 in the count, can afford to waste a couple. Good eye from Arenado, though. Sets to a slightly more favorable 1-2. And we're not really throwing the fastball a whole ton, I just noticed. Hunter Green is the fastball. Dial it up at 100 plus. But Arenado has a bat that can really get to it. 101 outside corner, still manages to pull it. Does fly out, though, and not a terrible inning for us. Need to get some hits. And Hunter Renfroe, the newest Red, against the lefty, should be in prime position to do damage. That's why we got him. Power hitter, middle of the order, coming off a fantastic season, demolishes left-handed pitching. Got to stay patient, wait for our pitch. 2-0 is a great spot to be. And that's a pitch right down the middle. Renfroe turns deep to left. This one could be gone, and it is foul. 97 off the bat, near 40-degree launch angle. Absolute moonshot. Now the count runs to 2-2 after that fastball's fouled back. Would have been a really nice first swing for Hunter Renfroe as a Cincinnati Red. And that is a very close strike to take. Ball. Count runs full to 3-2. Pretty nice first AB for Renfroe. Would love to see a result, though. And this one is pulled down the line. If it's fair, it's going to do damage. Unfortunately, just foul. So he's missed a home run and now a double in this at-bat. He's going to hit for the foul cycle. This one deep down the line. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is just foul. 4 feet outside the left field foul pole. And that is strike 3. Renfroe rung up on a sweeping curveball. Outside corner. Too close to take, I guess. Got a piece. Renfroe thought it was ball 4. Just shows you how baseball is, man. Miss a couple of home runs. Barely. And then you strike out in the same at-bat. First AB for Jock Peterson after a Jonathan India fly out to center, of all places. Seen quite a bit of that so far. And we're not going to show every at-bat and every pitching out, but the important ones. And Jock Peterson's first AB as a Cincinnati Red, I think, is one of some importance. He was out in front of that slider from Braxton Garrett. He's not going to overpower you. That's his thing. Interesting take there from Jock Peterson. Me personally, I would have mashed that. Fastball right down the middle. Clearly looking for something else. Maybe thought another slider was coming. Count goes to 2-2. Looking to do damage lefty-lefty. Not the easiest thing to do. As Jock pulls that foul down the first base line. Goldschmidt looking as unathletic as possible. And that is strike 3. Unbelievably well-located slider. Jock Peterson with a sword. And Braxton Garrett working quickly through this Reds order. I go 3 straight fastballs here to Goldschmidt. And that's strike 3. 102 from Hunter Green. Yeah, velocity is not a problem for Hunter Green. He throws more 100-plus mile-per-hour fastballs than anybody in the league. And that can be devastating for a lineup. 103 from Hunter Green. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Pumping. at triple digits. There's 100. I don't even know that we have to show him something else. Elevate and celebrate. Fastball, Gorman swings and misses. He's been so electric in 2023. If you guys saw my fantasy baseball video at the start of this year, drafted Nolan Gorman in round 38 out of 40. He's been spectacular, but happy to strike him out here in Reds franchise. Green working quickly, gets the fly ball. Yandy Diaz is in left field. Typically an infielder, but can play left field, has done it before. And he'll probably be doing quite a lot of it this year, as he's our primary left fielder against left-handed pitching. But we'll play first and certainly DH against right-handers, and probably DH against lefties, and play first base sometimes against lefties as well. There's our first base runner. It's Spencer Steer down the line. This one could be extra bases. He's pushing. Here's the throw, and it is not in time. A double for Spencer Steer to lead off the top of the third. That's exactly what we were looking for. Somebody to do something. Start a rally, and a double down the third base line. Nearly getting to that corner was exactly how we wanted to dial that up. Get a base runner on, force Braxton Garrett to work from the stretch, and we're going to get to the top of our order unless things go terribly wrong this inning, as Jesse Winker will continue the hit parade. That's 2 in a row now. A single for him back in Cincinnati. Welcome back, Jesse Winker. Good to have you. Lefty, lefty. Not a problem for Winker. And that's a problem for Braxton Garrett if he's going to keep throwing fastballs down the middle. We are eventually going to do damage against him. Here's another lefty. It's Max Kepler. And Garrett trying that same pitch. A little bit lower. Maybe you worry about the ground ball double play. Maybe that's why you lay off that. Trying to get that runner in. And that is a favorable ball 1. Count to 1-1. I thought that was probably a strike. Ump's got a different idea of the zone today. As that ball's hit on the ground, there's 1, there's 2. No RBI for Max Kepler as he grounds out into a double play, but we do get a run in. So not ideal there. I would call that a hanging slider. It's a pitch you got to crush. And Kepler hit it fairly hard, just unfortunately right at the shortstop. And that is a good way to kill a rally. 94 off the bat, just, I mean, to the worst spot on the field. Worst spot on the field by a mile. Ooh, nice fastball up and in. Go to the slider here, try to put Wilson away, and that's an unbelievable take. You know what, if he's going to take slider away, he might be freezing on that fastball. Kind of leaks over the middle a little bit, gets a piece. And Hunter Green only has a 3-pitch mix, so, you know, we can't really exactly go to a lot. And I think maybe not so much second, but third time through the order, that could end up being a problem as Wilson continues to fight. And strike 3. Wilson can't handle the gas. New Cardinal in real life, of course, his second year in the game as a St. Louis Cardinal. But we've seen him in the NL Central for some time with the Cubs. Of course, before this franchise started, this franchise series. There's a nice favorable call. You know, we got rung up early on Hunter Renfroe, and I think Blue's trying to make it up to us. As I say that, a close pitch is not called a strike. Gonna get this middle in. I don't like that spot. Down and in, you really got to worry about against lefties. Kind of a pitch for them to handle. But I try to get it just above that. As Nootbaar thought about that fastball up. Manages to lay off. Try to bury a changeup. How's that look? Kind of hangs up a bit, gets a piece. Want to put Nootbaar away. Get a slider in off the plate. Good spot. Ground ball. Spencer Steer going to have to make a play. Looks like it's going to be close, and it's not in time. Nootbaar getting down the line really well. Ends up with an infield single. Steer really taking his time there. Not cool. That's a ball. Oh, slider backing him up. Tommy Edman goes down looking, frozen on that slider. Clearly a strike. And Hunter Green works out of it. Only 1 runner on base. So he's currently in line for the win, pitching really well. Love to get some run supports behind him as Yandy Diaz turns on 1. Frozen rope right at the left fielder. 99 off the bat. We're just kind of getting unlucky right now against Braxton Garrett. We've made some good contact, just not really resulted in much. Line drive right back up the middle. Finally not a fly out to center. Tyler Stevenson, good piece of hitting. We could have something working here with 1 out in the 4th. Stevenson's one of our best hitters. And Hunter Renfroe should be our best hitter in this cleanup spot. Get guys on in front of him. Drive them home. Hunter Renfroe, potential swing and miss to his game, but a ton of power. And nearly had a couple home runs last time up. Unfortunately struck out and now down 0-2. Not exactly a home run hitting count. But don't really want to just put the ball into play. That says double play all over it. Looking to fight back, get something to hit. We got 1-2. And that's a pitch to hit. Hunter Renfroe deep to left field to Big Mac land. Nearly. I thought it was higher. But Hunter Renfroe, he showed that he was on Braxton Garrett his first time up. And that much is obvious with his first home run as a Cincinnati Red. Looks like Ellie De La Cruz. We might have to give him dreadlocks or something. That player likeness is not like him at all. Yandy Diaz loving it as well. Renfroe got a pitch, middle, even starting 0-2. Fights back, showcases the raw power, hits it out over 100 miles per hour. Got out in a hurry. Hunter Renfroe is going to be a problem with Braxton Garrett, let me tell you. Probably don't want to leave him in and face Hunter Renfroe a 3rd time. Because that says, I mean, it spells trouble. Probably a 2nd home run. I'm going to say it. Probably a home run. And that's tough to say because that's an unlikely thing to do. But he should have like 3 already in 2 at-bats. It's unimaginable. So Jock ends with a ground out, but the damage was done. Hunter Renfroe got a hold of one. He knew it the entire way, and I'm hoping he does that a lot for us as a Cincinnati Red this season and many seasons beyond. Signed a long-term deal to come to Cincinnati. He feels like a natural fit here. Big power in a hitter's ballpark. And we'll hope Hunter Green can keep shoving. You know, he is at times a pitch-to-contact guy despite having such an overwhelming fastball. But still less than 40 pitches here going into the 4th. Try to keep that pitch count low. And, you know, maybe work, best-case scenario, a complete game. I think it's a little early to say that. But, you know, he's a high-volume guy at times. And if we can keep that pitch count in a favorable spot, we're going to be in business. That is nearly trouble. Might go to a different pitch early on the fastball. How about the changeup? Professional hitters, man, they just don't chase that. We're going to show it again. Doesn't want any part of it. If it's low, let it go. Is that the strategy? If it's not, you're going to go ahead and chase that fastball down. And ground out to Ellie De La Cruz. And Paul Goldschmidt actually won MVP in 2022. I mistook it for 2023 for a moment. I thought he got back-to-back, but nope. Real life 2022 MVP. We know he's a problem. Here he is in the cleanup spot for a reason. He will line one into right field past the first baseman, Jock Peterson, which isn't really that tough to do, considering his deficiencies as a defender. And even though Nolan Gorman went down pretty easy last time up, he does have a ton of power, especially against right-handed pitching. We do have to be careful. And that's going to be ball 1. Okay. Interesting strike zone. Interesting strike zone. Round to Peterson. And that will be the inning as he goes to steer. Gets Nolan Gorman to roll over. We're doing fine still. Only 2 hits for St. Louis. We only have 4. But it has resulted in 3 runs. Power is a huge part of this offense. And that should be evident with guys like Jesse Winker and Hunter Renfroe and Jock Peterson. Wasn't always a big part, but now we've called up Ellie De La Cruz. Should he be an even bigger part of our offense? Tyler Stevenson, Jonathan India, Yandy Diaz. Not so much the big power threats. I know Yandy's hitting a lot of home runs in real life this year in 2023. But we brought in a lot of power. And I'd love to see more of it. The strategy with Hunter Green is just keep throwing the fastball. You know, the umpire is not really giving us any close calls anymore. But we're just going to keep pumping it until somebody on St. Louis shows us that they can actually hit it. And how many guys, you know, that can hit 103? You know, so we got to lean on that fastball. Not every pitch, but a lot. But I don't know where we can throw it if that's not a strike. We're getting squeezed a little bit now. They want another base runner. And we threw it right down the middle. Tyler O'Neill made us pay. This is deep to right center field. Going to be off the wall. O'Neill runs really well. Renfro's got one of the best throwing arms in the game, though. But it can't stop a Tyler O'Neill triple. I don't know what we can do there. Obviously, quite a few fastballs in a row. But we weren't getting the calls. In the strike zone, no less. And we grooved him one. I mean, that was right down the middle. And inside out type of swing, you know, maybe a little bit less than that. But we can't seem to throw a strike right now. These are in the zone. We're just not getting the calls. We're asking to get shelled. I don't know what we can do. Nothing's a strike at the moment. That's not a strike. I mean, let's get a mound visit going. Let's settle down for a moment. Hey. Get Ellie in there. Say, hey, you're doing fine. This zone sucks. What's happening? Where can we throw the ball that it's a strike? How about there? Is that a strike? Is that close enough? Jesus. 3-2. We got some bases open. We're going to throw a changeup. He spoils it. That's a good spot, too. Down and in. He's early on it. Go slider. Decent spot. Ground ball. That's going to get a run in. First earned run of the year for Hunter Green, but he's pitched really, really well otherwise. And honestly, what can you do? We were getting squeezed. Really unfortunate that we gave a cookie to Tyler O'Neill, but St. Louis is on the board. Oh, this is Jordan Walker's MLB debut in the game. Because he started the franchise before the 2023 MLB season, Jordan Walker has never gotten the call-up like he did in real life. So this is his debut, and he is 0 for 1 to start. He's going to see another slider before he gets another fastball. Typically, these younger guys are less adept at hitting the off-speed, but can catch up to the fastball. But at 103, it's a challenge for anybody. That one only at 101. Walker gets a piece off the end of the bat, I think, and it's an easy put out for the center fielder as we are back up. It's Ellie De La Cruz time. Let's go, Ellie. Get something to hit. It's so dark in these. It's not, like, ridiculous, but I know when I take these off, it's going to be... I'm going to have to acclimate into my screens. It's a problem. Ellie gets a hold of that one, drives it foul down the third base line. Looking to pull the ball. Going to pitch down the middle. Garrett is so good at that. This one sent sky high. 46 degrees, a launch angle in the air. And it's an easy out for Jordan Walker. Yandy gets a hold of one. This one's got a chance. Deep to left field. Walker going back makes the play before the track. Thought that one maybe had a little bit more juice in it than it did. Pitch up in the zone. Good pitch to hit. Only 90 off the bat for Yandy Diaz. How about a little two-out rally? We have just the guy to do it with. Tyler Stevenson. Get on, and then Hunter Renfro's up. And I think Garrett is actually going to stay in the game. Because that one's hit pretty hard to the ground. 106 right at Paul Goldschmidt for the third out of the inning. Garrett only at about 60 or so pitches. So he's probably going to stay in. But Hunter Renfroe, you know, we would have loved to have somebody on base in front of him. But another AB against Braxton Garrett is not going to be bad. This one's actually bunted. Ellie De La Cruz coming on, makes the throw, and records the first out. Edmund trying to sneak a little bunt. But Ellie De La Cruz with the speed in the arm all over it. Wasn't even close. And that's still not a strike. What do we do to throw a strike? What can we possibly go to? Fastball down the middle. Hit to Kepler. Kepler underneath. That is the second out of the inning. Listen, I don't know what we can do. Because we got lucky that Kepler was able to get underneath that. That fastball went right down the middle. That's not what we want to do. But we can't really throw strikes. We can't throw strikes. Half of them are just called balls, as this one's hit down the line. Arenado does not run particularly well, but that's a guaranteed double either way. And a little two-out rally cooking for St. Louis. Got to shut that down. This is probably an unintentional walk. Intentional walk to Paul Goldschmidt. Green was dealing a little bit there, but you don't want to let this guy hurt you. We're going to mostly try and pitch around him. Hunter Green now thrown 80 pitches. Hey, there's actually strike 2. We're going to get some action up in the pen. Let's get TJ Antone and Caleb Ferguson going. If we can get out of this inning, I do want to bring on a lefty to face Nolan Gorman. Here's a 2-2. Fouled off. To a fastball. Dial it up. Show us what you got right by him. Hunter Green sends Paul Goldschmidt packing with the heater. High heat against a little old guy, little old man like Paul Goldschmidt. He can't handle it. Tied him up, struck him out. We're going to preserve this lead, and Matthew Liberatore is coming in. They didn't want Braxton Garrett to face Hunter Renfroe again. He was not great last year. Small sample size, not using him as a starter, which is interesting. And he was really bad last year. Hunter Renfroe kills lefties, has homered already in this game. That's the entire reason why we signed him. Do things like that. And we'll see if we can adjust to Liberatore. I thought he threw a sinker in there. But a four-seam fastball is the first pitch. Does have a sinker. Come on, Hunter. Get on something. Ooh, frozen rope. 109 off the bat and foul. Look out in the stands. But unfortunately down 0-2. Although I will say, if you watch the last AB, you know, that's no problem for Hunter Renfroe. Fought back earlier, hit a 2-run home run. Try to do the same here. Minus the 2-run part. That'd be really impressive if he hit a 2-run home run as the leadoff hitter in the 7th inning. Frozen rope right at Jordan Walker, and Hunter Renfroe is on it. It is super unfortunate that he's 1 for 3 in this game, because he hit a couple of foul home runs, a foul double, and then struck out in the first at-bat. Home run in the second AB, and then third at-bat, 108-mile-per-hour line-out right at Jordan Walker. And this lineup has been on pitches today. Just really have not gotten rewarded as much as I think we should. As India plunked. I think he'll take that, though. Only 76. Still probably doesn't feel great. But, you know, some sweeping action. I think he took it right off the butt. That's a flesh wound. He'll be all right. Hanger. Jock Peterson sends it deep to right. This one's got a chance. Going back, looking up, and it is out of here. Jock Peterson, 2-run home run, lefty crime. That's his first as a Red. Welcome to Cincinnati, Jock Peterson. Of course, playing on the road in St. Louis, but the fans back home are loving it. It's a moonshot for Jock. Another 2-run home run for these Reds, and we're going to extend our lead to 5. This one was a hanger. Slider up in the zone. And if you're going to hang it, you want it up, so you swing underneath it. That one came down just enough. Jock was able to get good wood on it. Maybe first or second row. And the lead is extended to 4. That's going to be another fair ball. Spencer Steer loves hitting it down the line. Going to have to hold to a single on this one. But Spencer Steer making a living out of just little line drives, little ground balls down the third base line. And even the Platinum Glove winning Nolan Arenado couldn't get to it. Oh, Jesse Winker. Another foul home run for these Reds. That was a fastball right down the middle. More lefty crime. Unfortunately, got to straighten that one out. Couldn't keep it fair. 3-1 to Winker. Yeah, we're going to let it fly here if we get a pitch, clearly. Best count to hit in. And that is not a fastball. That is a circle change. Really ballsy time to throw one of those because, you know, if we don't swing at it, that's ball 4. There's a hanger. Winker unloads. This one's headed deep to the gap. If it's fair, it could be gone, and it's not. It's caught at the wall. Retreating quickly is Steer. Here's the throw, not in time. I did the if it's fair, it's gone call as a joke. Is no kidding. But it actually didn't have the legs. Unbelievable. Hanger. We couldn't do any damage. And I think we're actually going to pinch hit Max Kepler here as he took a strike for us. We're going to bring in Ryan McKenna. Hits lefties a little bit better. Plays really good defense out in center field as well. It's a really good time to just get him an AB. Defensive replacement for a pretty good defender. Honestly, could have like double switched or something. We're going to swing at the first pitch and pop out. Gorman underneath it. Third out of the inning. We will head to the bottom of the 7th. But the damage, again, was done. Jock Peterson, in what should have been a 2-home run inning for off-season acquisitions, Jock at least got one. Can Hunter Green get through another inning? He's at 83 pitches. Got a couple of really good right-handers coming up. I think we're going to try and leave him in. See if he can get through Nolan Gorman again, who's 0 for 2. He's made really quick work a lot of these Cardinals batters. He's done a good job, but he is approaching his end. Gorman, line drive down the third base line and foul. I think we're going to dial up the high heat again. I don't think Gorman can handle it. And he could not. Sword. Later, back to the bench. Another strikeout for Hunter Green. That's his 7th in 6 1/3 innings. Just get through the right-handers. Get through the righties. I probably don't want him going too far over 90 pitches. We finally get a call on the black. That's, where we're living right here. This is pitch number 90, and it is hit deep to left field. That one is out of here. Sneaking out over the wall, Tyler O'Neill goes yard, and it was just one batter too many. Maybe even two. We had a great start, and unfortunately, the manager made a dumb decision, pushed him a little bit too far, and he left something about middle. O'Neill got out in front of it and just kind of hooked it fair. Got it up, got it out. And that is going to be the day done for Hunter Green. Great start. His line muddied up a little bit by allowing the home run. As we'll turn to TJ Antone. See if we can get out Wilson Contreras. I would have really liked to keep Hunter Green in for one more batter. I just don't want to risk back-to-back home runs, making it a 5-3 ball game. A lot of time left for just to go to TJ Antone and try to get Wilson out. And then, of course, got to deal with Lars Nootbaar. But we're going to cross that bridge when we get to it. And it's going to be TJ Antone against Lars Nootbaar. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Just bringing in our best arm off the jump. Here's a ground ball to Steer. This one, not a great throw. Peterson can't scoop it. It's a problem with not having an elite defensive first baseman. Could have been an out. Instead, runner on first. Only one away. Let's get that ground ball double play. Got that sinker for a reason. Ground ball. Steer. Redeem yourself. There's one. India back to first. Double play. We got him. Tyler O'Neill did go yard, but we got out of it. Honestly, fantastic job by TJ Antone. Unfortunately, did allow a base runner. No fault of his own, though. Spencer Steer with the errant throw, and then Jock Peterson, of course, not being able to make the scoop at first base. As Ellie's back up. Hold on. Hold on. A line out and a couple of flyouts so far. We're looking to do damage. Libertor's been in the game too long. Of course, he is a starter, so his stamina is not really going to be too bad. We are down 0-2 early. Come on, Ellie. Hanger. Ellie just gets a piece. That was actually pretty well located. Thought that might have been leaking out over the heart of the plate, but continued to break. Just like that one, but Ellie De La Cruz said, I don't care. Rips it in the left. It's a base hit to start his 2024. Ellie. That one was smoked. 98. Great hit for Ellie. Gotta love that. Look how tall he is, dude. And Ellie does run pretty well. 90 speed, 75 steal, and Libertor clearly worried about it. Haven't even taken a lead. Already 2 throw-overs. In real life, he would not be allowed to throw over again. Well, actually, he would be. But if you don't get him, it should be free second base for Ellie De La Cruz. That's 3 throw-overs, have not even attempted a lead. So Libertor clearly thinking about it. Gonna stay put for now. By 2023 rules, Ellie should be standing on second base. That's now 4 throw-overs in the same at-bat. Super not legal in 2023 MLB, but MLB The Show didn't add that because they are just a small indie studio. How could you ever even think of them to do anything like that? Oh, they usually add it the next year. Why? It's this year. It's in this year's MLB. Why are we using an old rule set? Change the game. We're going to send Ellie. That's a great jump. It's an easy take, and that's a stolen base. As Ellie De La Cruz moves into scoring position, Libertor's worst fears are realized. His worst fears coming to life. Ellie swipes second. Gorman with a quick tag, didn't matter. Count even now at 2-2. Put it in play. And Yandy Diaz is great at that. That's back up the middle. Ellie De La Cruz runs extremely well. That's an easy run. And Yandy Diaz with an RBI single to give us some breathing room here in the 8th. Yandy coming up clutch. He's a great pure contact hitter who hits the ball really hard, just typically on the ground. In real life, hitting it more in the air in 2023, leading to more home runs. But that's ripped right back up the middle. Ellie runs really well. It was never a doubt that he would score. And that's why the steal is so big. Because you take just getting on base, maybe a single, maybe a walk, maybe a hit by pitch, getting to second base, and then a single scores a minute to run. And even so, even if it's, not a single, maybe it's a ground ball to the right side, Ellie De La Cruz advances to third, and then still a single obviously would score him. Maybe a ground ball would score him. Obviously a fly out that's deep enough. Speed absolutely kills. That's why they say speed never slumps. Because you can get on base with an infield single, or you can turn a single into an extra base hit. Speed kills. It's super important to have, and Ellie De La Cruz has it in bunches. There's another base hit. Stevenson in a left. Now we have runners on first and second. Still nobody out. The top of the 8th is not going well for St. Louis. They brought on Giovanni Gallegos, and he has not been able to reduce the bleeding at all at this point. Now Hunter Renfroe. A very difficult out despite being 1 for 3 in today's game. Gotta stay patient. It is our first time looking at a right-hander today, so the approach might change slightly. 2-2 to Renfroe. Just smoked it inside. Fastball foul. Gets a hanger and whiffs. Hunter Renfroe, seeing the slider for the first time, clearly did not like it. Because that one was in a really great spot with good timing, and he just whiffed. That is a really, really, really tough result. 2-0 to India. Would love to walk. Bases loaded for Jock Peterson is a dream. And then maybe we could even bring in Joey Votto as a pinch hitter for Spencer Steer. Move some things around. It's 3-0 to India. This is a bad spot for Giovanni Gallegos. This is red light all the way. There's a strike. Although up 6-2, maybe we could have let it fly. Decided not to. And that is ball 4 low. India takes the fastball down, and now bases juiced for Jock. Home run his last time up. Would love to see that again. And now it's time to do damage. Get a pitch to hit. Drive it. Come on, Jock. There's a pitch to hit. Ground ball. Great stop at second. They're only going to get one. But Jock drives in a run. His 3rd RBI of the game. And we'll take that. It's not our dream result. Nolan Gorman saves a couple there, probably. But hard hit ball. And you just got to tip your cap. Gorman can't turn it. But does get the out at first. And we're going to bring on Joey Votto for Spencer Steer. Great game from him. 2 for 3 against the lefty. Love that. I like the matchup with Joey Votto a little bit better. Was injured last season. Still hit 25 home runs. With runners on second and third. We get Joey Votto for 2024 Reds opening day. Love to see it. Do something, Joey. Fastball hit on the ground at Gorman. No trouble for Gorman. And Votto is the 3rd out of the inning. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 8th. Extended our lead to 7-2. Some great hitting. A little bit unlucky at times. And, of course, Joey Votto is not going to be playing shortstop. We're going to make plenty of changes here. Going to be first, Ellie De La Cruz to shortstop. And then it's going to be Yandy Diaz to third base. And then Joey Votto out of the game for Jake Fraley. We probably should have used his pinch hitter. But that's okay. We're going to start this inning with TJ Antone. He allows a hit right back up the middle. Ripped. Wow. Who could even see that? Faster than a speeding bullet. You know, that actually looks like a lot of Jordan Walker's hits at the major league level before he got sent down, to be fair. So, pretty realistic game. Edman down 0-2. Now, he does run really well, so I don't know if we could even turn a double play, as Edman nearly chases strike 3 there. Gave him the benefit of the doubt. Let's go for the strikeout. Good take. It'd be really tough to turn 2 on him, but I think we're going to try. Line drive, down the third base line. Nearly trouble. Try to get him looking. There he goes. Goodbye, Tommy. Tommy, take. And Tommy, sit down. I want TJ Antone for Nolan Arenado, so he's got to stay out. Just keep pitching. Or get a double play. Carlson doesn't run so well. He's a double play candidate for sure. There's strike 2, though. Now he's a potential strikeout candidate. I think we're just going to bury the sinker, though. And that's a ball hit down the first base line. Barely foul. Going back to the sinker. It's all sinker here all the time. We're getting that double play. We can't actually locate it, unfortunately. There it is. We caught the ground ball, but it's down the line and fair past the diving Yandy Diaz. Fraley gets it in. They're going to try to run on Elly De La Cruz. Here's the play at the plate. Got him. Not even a perfect throw from Elly. He released it real early. I didn't even release it. He chose to do that himself. Bounced it, one-hopped in. Honestly, couldn't have asked for a better location, in my opinion. And that is a huge out. Really awful send from St. Louis. Awful send in the situation. You got to know the situation. You're down 7-2. That run doesn't mean anything. And now Arenado's down 0-2. Trying to strike him out. We got that ground ball. This one to India. On to first base. And that is the 8th. I'd like a little bit more wiggle room here before we bring on... I think we're going to bring on Alexis Diaz, to be honest. He was really disappointing last season. I'm hoping for a lot better here in 2024. Maybe even potentially re-earning that closer spot. Although if Brewstar pitches well, like, I don't really see that happen. Full count to Jesse Winker. Does have a hit in this game. Nearly a home run as well last time up. Fouls that one back. Count remains full at 3-2. Come on, Jesse. Do something for us. Give me another hit here. Take a walk as well. And that was ball 4, I think. Winker out in front and just plops it down in front of the right fielder. I think that was... I don't actually know who that was. Is that Lars Nootbaar? Might be Lars Nootbaar, number 21 in right. Yeah, I think it would be, because Dylan Carlson's DHing. Way out in front, and just placed it perfectly. Here's Ryan McKenna for a second time. Would have loved to face a right-hander. We would have brought in Jake Fraley. But he'll just get a complete off day today. McKenna chases. McKenna gets in a 1. This one's headed out to left field. Walker underneath it. Shows pretty great range to make that play. Not that realistic. And we will see Elly De La Cruz yet again. 5th AB here for the leadoff. Off the end of the bat. Not an easy play. No kidding. Yeah, right to him. Yandy Diaz. This one probably is an easy fly out. Walker going back. Makes the play. And we are on to the bottom of the 9th. Last licks for the Cardinals. We're going to bring on Alexis Diaz to shut it down. It is a good part of the order, though. Goldschmidt, Gorman, O'Neill. But I like our chances. I feel good about Alexis Diaz this season. He lost a closer role last year. ERA over 5. WHIP over 1.6. Walked everybody. Blew a ton of saves. He's now just a setup man. Less stress. And hopefully better results. There's a pop-up. 1 pitch. Potentially 1 out. Stevenson camped underneath. Coming back makes the play. A flair for the dramatic from Tyler Stevenson. That is 1 pitch, 1 out. Cardinals seeing a lot of gas in this one. We really brought out our flamethrowers. That's now the 3rd pitch and the 2nd out as Fraley comes on and makes the play. Nice introduction to him here in the 9th inning. Now here's Tyler O'Neill. A double and a single shy of the cycle. Got the tough ones out of the way. And he will need a miracle to force extra innings. And there's a ground ball to Diaz. And Diaz, Alexis Diaz, with an incredible performance. Throws, what, 6 pitches Gets 3 outs. It's a very different Alexis Diaz than the one we saw from a year ago. We are going to start 1-0. On pace for 162 wins. Unbelievable. Braxton Garrett was better than he should have been. We had 10 hits, but scored 7 runs, courtesy of a couple of long balls. There's one of them from Renfroe. Jock Peterson had the other, nearly a third from Jesse Winker. Here's the Jock bomb. And, yeah, I felt like we got mostly unlucky, but a pretty good game overall. So the story is obviously new additions power opening day, as we will simulate to the end of this Cardinals series. Of course, our AAA rotation is not good enough. And a 1-0 loss in the next game. Miles Michaelis shut us down. The big thing is, though, that Nick Lodolo pitched well. Only 1 earned run, struck out 3 in 6 innings. I think we will simulate this date as well, and it's another loss. Alexis Diaz, of course, picking up the loss. Ellie with a hit and a run. Yandy Diaz with a great game, a double and a home run. Hunter Renfroe homered again. Jonathan India with a double. And Ellie De La Cruz swiped a couple of bases. Graham Ashcraft was honestly pretty good. Struck out 6, allowed 2 earned runs on 5 hits, 2 walks. Alexis Diaz got shelled. Didn't get an out. 2 hits, 3 walks, allowed 4 earned, and then Lucas Sims came on, but it was too much. Alexis Diaz, you're dead to me. That's the video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.